The call came on a Tuesday morning. The voice on the other end was calm, too calm. And before they even finished the sentence, I felt something inside me crack, not my heart, something deeper. The lie I'd been living for 80 years, the one thing I wish someone had told me when I was your age before it was too late to use it. But let me go back, because you need to understand who's telling you this. I woke this morning before the sun did, same as I have for decades. Sat at the kitchen table in the same chair I've sat in for 30 years. The light was just starting to gather at the window, and there was dust moving through it, slow and deliberate. Somewhere down the street, a lawnmower started up. The sound felt distant, like it belonged to someone else's life. And that's when it hit me, quiet and undeniable. I'm 80 years old, not the idea of 80, the actual weight of it sitting in my bones, in my chest, in the way I had to pause before standing. The silence in the house had texture, like it was holding memories I'd been trying to outrun. And I knew, sitting there in that early light, that I couldn't avoid the truth anymore. I built what everyone said was a good life. Keys on a hook by the door, paychecks every 2 weeks, lunches packed for small hands, a name on the mailbox that people knew. I worked for 34 years at the same company, bought a house, raised 2 kids, showed up when I said I would. I was responsible, respected, busy, so busy I didn't notice what was disappearing in the spaces between all that doing. From the outside, it looked solid. And maybe it was. But even at the height of it, when the calendar was full and the days were loud, there was something underneath I refused to look at. Something was missing that I told myself didn't matter. There was always another task, another obligation, another reason to keep moving without asking where I was actually going. Then came that Tuesday, mid-morning. I was standing in the hallway, still holding a dish towel from breakfast. The phone rang. They said his name first, as that would cushion it. Then they said the rest. I don't remember hanging up. I just remember how the air changed, how the light from the window went cold, how my hands forgot what they were holding. It wasn't the worst news I'd ever gotten, but it was the news that made me realize the calendar had been lying to me my entire life, that tomorrow wasn't guaranteed, that the shape of my life, the one I'd spent decades building, the one that felt permanent, could shift in a single sentence. My body knew before my mind did. My chest tightened, my knees went weak. I sat down right there on the hallway floor, and I couldn't explain why. That was the day the hard truth started to surface. Not all at once, just enough to let me know I couldn't run from it anymore. Here's what nobody tells you about loss. It doesn't just take the person. It takes the illusion you were living under. I tried going back to normal. Errands, small repairs, polite conversations at the grocery store. But everything felt like it was happening through glass. I was there, but I wasn't. The anchors I'd relied on, my routine, my house, my own reflection, suddenly felt like they belonged to a stranger. Memory became invasive. A smell would pull me back 30 years. A song on the radio would land like a punch. There was this spot in the hallway just past the coat closet where I'd stop for no reason. It was where he used to stand, tying his shoes before school, 7 years old, tongue between, in his teeth, fingers fumbling with the laces. I could still see him there. That image lived in that spot, and every time I walked past it, something inside me broke open again. Part of me wanted to stay strong, to keep moving like I always had. But another part, quieter, deeper, wanted to finally admit what the loss was showing me, that I'd been living like time was something I controlled, like it would wait for me to be ready. And that's when I saw it. The lie. The one I'd been telling myself for decades. I truly believed I had time, not in a reckless way. I wasn't careless. I just thought tomorrow could absorb what today couldn't hold. I postponed tenderness because I was tired. I delayed difficult conversations because they felt uncomfortable. I saved the real living, whatever that meant, for later, for when things calmed down, for when I had more energy, for when the moment felt right. I told myself I'd call him next week, that we'd talk more once things settled, that there would be space, eventually, for the kind of closeness we both wanted but never reached. The years kept moving. Postponement became a habit. The habit became the shape of our relationship. And I didn't see it, pinning. That's what stuns me now. I was standing right there, watching time pass, somehow convinced it wasn't. The hard truth is painfully simple. I just didn't see it until I couldn't use it anymore. There are 3 scenes burned into my memory. They didn't feel important when they happened. Now they play on a loop I can't stop. The first, I was at the kitchen sink, hands wet, washing dinner PL8s. He came in and stood behind me, maybe 14, 15 years old. He said something, I don't even remember what, and I told him I'd be with him in a minute. Just 1 minute he waited, then he left. I finished the dishes, dried my hands, sat down and turned on the television. I never went to find him. That minute I promised never came. And the next day we both moved on like it didn't matter. But it didn't matter. It was one of 1,000 small trades I made without understanding the cost. The second, a birthday card I bought for my sister. We hadn't spoken in months. No fight, just the slow drift that happens when life gets loud and nobody makes the effort. I bought the card, bought it home, set it on the counter. Every day I'd see it and think, I'll write it tonight. I'll send it tomorrow. Weeks passed, then months. Eventually it wasn't her birthday anymore and it felt too awkward to send, so I threw it away. She died 3 years later. We never picked up the phone. The third one still sits the heaviest, a work meeting I chose over a school play. It wasn't even important. I could have rescheduled, but I was worried about how it would look. So I told him I'd catch the next one. He said okay. He always said okay. I believed him because it was easier than believing I was letting him down. I didn't go to the next one either. Eventually he stopped inviting me, not out of anger, just acceptance, and I let it happen because I was busy, and busy felt like reason enough. These weren't tragedies, they were ordinary days. That's what makes them unbearable now. The biggest losses don't announce themselves. They happen in inches, in the gap between I should and I will. In the quiet distance that grows when you stop reaching. At 80, you count differently. You don't measure life by years anymore or titles or things you accumulate. You measure it by moments of real contact. Times someone felt truly seen by you. Times love was spoken out loud, not assumed. Times you put your pride down and chose connection over being right. Accomplishments age fast. I barely remember the things I thought were so important. The promotions, the recognition, the projects that consumed months of my life. They mattered then, I suppose. But they didn't stay with me. They didn't keep me warm when the house got quiet. What stays is different. In the afternoon, I finally apologized to my wife for something I'd been too stubborn to admit for years. The look on her face when she realized I meant it, the way her hand found mine across the table, that stays. The morning I sat with my father in hospice and told him plainly that he'd been a good man, that I was grateful. He couldn't speak anymore, but his eyes did. That stays. I'm not trying to rewrite the past, I can't, but I can tell you the truth about what mattered and what I traded it for. Maybe that's all wisdom is, not fixing your mistakes, but being honest about what they cost. So let me ask you something, not as a teacher, just as someone sitting on the other side of the mistake. You might still have time to avoid it. Who have you been meaning to call? What conversation are you postponing because it feels hard or awkward? Or like it can wait until you have more emotional space? What version of yourself are you avoiding because you're waiting for permission, or the right moment, or a sign that never comes? I used to answer those questions wrong. I told myself it wasn't the right time, that I'd get to it when things settled, that the people I loved would understand because they always had before, and they did. our stand. That's the cruelest part. They understood so well that they stopped expecting anything different, and the distance became normal, and normal became permanent. I'm asking because I wish someone had asked me 30 years ago with the same gentleness I'm offering you now. Before the door closed, before the moment passed, before later became never. Because here's what I know now: regret is heavy. It sits in your chest like a stone you can't cough up. It wakes you at 3 in the morning, replaying scenes you can't rewrite, hearing words you can't unsay. I carry regret for the softness I withheld, for stubbornness that felt like strength but was just fear in disguise, for treating relationships as they'd always be there, sturdy and waiting, no matter how long I ignored them. But home is quieter. It doesn't erase regret. It doesn't make the past hurt less, but it changes how you carry it. Wisdom happens when you stop performing, when you stop needing to be right, when you stop measuring yourself by other people's definitions of success. There's relief in that. A lightness. Happiness, exactly, but peace. Regret looks backward with clenched fists, trying to hold what's already gone. Wisdom looks forward with open hands, asking what can still be made whole, what can still be said, what can still be given, even if it's late. And here's the part that kept me up last night, the part I need you to hear. One day the door closes and nobody announces it. Endings don't come with warning labels. They arrive disguised as ordinary days. The last time you see a friend, you don't know it's the last time. You say see you soon and mean it. The last holiday with a parent feels like just another holiday, a little quieter maybe, a little slower. But you tell yourself there will be more. The last easy laugh with your spouse happens on a Tuesday over something small, and then the months get harder and you can't remember when things shifted. The tragedy isn't death. Death is inevitable. The tragedy is the casual postponement that happens while you still have breath, while the people you love still have breath, while the chance to say something real, something true, is still sitting in the room with you, waiting. Time isn't cruel, it's indifferent. It moves at the same pace whether you're paying attention or not, and it doesn't stop just because you finally realized what that you should have been doing all along. The hard truth, the one I've been circling this entire time, is this: you will run out of time to love the people you love. You will not see it coming. And the only thing more painful than losing them is realizing you had them fully and you didn't show up the way you could have, not because you didn't care, but because you thought you had time. What I have lately is still real. I'm sitting here at this table and the house is quiet again, but it's not the same quiet as this morning. The echoes are still here, the memories, the things I can't undo, but they don't feel like hauntings anymore. They feel like proof that I loved, that I was loved, that the life I lived, even with all its mistakes, mattered. I can't fix what's behind me, but I can hold what's in front of me with more care. I can call my daughter tonight instead of next week. I can sit with my wife without the television on. I can write the letter I've been putting off. These are small things, quiet things, but they're the only things I have left that are mine to give. Gratitude isn't about pretending everything's okay. It's not about positivity or silver linings. It's about looking at what you had, what you still have, and feeling the weight of it, the reverence, the privilege of having loved people who mattered even if you didn't always get it right. I'm still here. That means something. It means there's still time to mean something. So sit here with me for one more moment. Not as a viewer, as someone listening, someone is still standing in the middle of your own life with joy. CES ahead of you. What is it you don't want to realize too late? What do you hope remains when the house is still and the noise fades? I'm not asking you to change everything. I'm asking you to notice, to consider, to look at the person you're becoming and ask if there's someone your future self will be proud to have been. If something landed here, if something stirred, leave one word in the comments, not for me, for yourself. One thing you don't want to postpone anymore. One truth you're ready to hold. It keeps the room warm. It reminds us we're not alone. Thank you for your time. I know what it costs. Time is the only thing none of us get back. The fact that you gave some of yours to sit here with me means more than,